Hey everybody, this is Lazar again. Just wanted to welcome you guys back. Today we're going to be working on the rear shocks of the BMW E30, and we'll be using a few parts. Let me show you guys what I have, and here we go. So today we're going to be working with another incredible Garagistic part. These are the rear shock mount. These basically reinforce the rear shock mount so that they don't break. These can be welded on, or they could be put on as is. That goes on to the top of the rear shock mounts, so we attach just like so. And of course we've got our gaskets. Our rear shock mounts today are going to be from Lemforder, and we have our new shocks, of course, for the rear, and these are from Sense strut and shock absorbers. So just wanted to give a shout out to my friends at Garagistic for providing the rear shock mount reinforcement. And you guys can see these are bare metal, but they can be painted as well if you go to their website. And here's their information. Follow them on Instagram. Also their number and address and email if you are interested. Alright, so today, as you guys already know, I have a E30 1991 BMW. It's a 325i, and of course we've got a convertible. And the first thing I did was lift the rear end up on my these are the Rhino stands. And for the convertibles, the 325i E30 1990, the rear shock mounts are going to be actually inside of where the top is located. So we're going to open this up and we'll see and show you guys where that is found. Alright, so here's the hard case cover, and you open this up, and right there in this cutout is going to be where your rear shock mount and also where the shock will go through and attach to the rear shock mount. One way to kind of test like if your shocks are in good or bad condition is just to move this, and there's a lot of play. You can see it's moving quite a bit, but we'll be taking out these two bolts right here, and also taking this out and try and get this out. One problem you'll find is that when these are bad, this bolt right here, when you try to take it off, the entire shock just kind of spins. So we might have to just pull this through and take the bolt out at the bottom of the shock and pull it through from the bottom. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is use a 13mm socket to get the bolt out. We've got two of them, one on either side of the strut mount, and we'll be taking those out. Yeah, so I had trouble holding this up because the shocks on here for the cover would always go down, so I put my piece of this so that it would hold up, and hopefully I can work a little bit better. So we've got those 13mm bolts off, and next step is to try to get that center nut off, the bolt. I have a special tool for that, and I had to go to the store and actually buy a shock absorber socket. This is OEM lifetime warranty, and let's see what happens. So basically what we're gonna have to do is hold that bolt with a wrench in the side here, and I'll be turning with the socket on the very top here. You see that there's an Allen on the top of this shock. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, so we're underneath the car now, and on the bottom part of the shock, you're going to be using a 19mm socket, and in this case I'll be using the 12-point just so that it gets a little bit better grip on there. There we go. And just loosen this, and then we'll pull it down from the top. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, so I got the old one out, and not good. There's a lot of play. You can see this right here. Oh man, kind of burnt through the rubber there. You can see that this thing can move side to side. So, and that's what we were hearing. Alright, so here's our new Sensen shock. And a couple things we're going to do is assemble it. And basically you put the new shock mount onto the new shock, just like so. As you can see, this actually has no holes and has a small centerpiece, small bearing there that actually keeps it from wearing down the rubber, hopefully. And then we got our paper gasket, and once we get onto the top, I'm going to put this through there and from the bottom, and once we get it through, I'll show you guys the bell, which is this right here, will be on top. I'm going to go in this way, put the screw that comes with it onto the top of the shock. But of course, before we put those in, this actually will go right there, and that will screw on from the top inside of the housing for the top. Alright, now that we've gotten it through, it's easy. I'm going to put the support here, Garagistic.com, and basically that will help reinforce our rear shock mounts. Make sure that they stay on there. And I would start off by just putting these bolts on by hand, and after that, after you get these bolts on by hand, the next step would be to take this out. When you install these, when you install this, this actually goes on top, bell down, just like that. Okay, and just take the screw, a new screw, and turn it right there. Okay, alright, I hope that helps, and we'll see how it goes from here. Thank you. Alright, so I could have tightened this before I put it in, which I probably should have done. I'll do it for the other side, but as you can see, I put a wrench down there, and since I have that socket that goes on top of the Allen wrench on the top of the strut, the shock absorber I should say, and that actually will turn the shock mount for me while the wrench holds it, the bolt, and now it enabled me to tighten this down. Alright, we've finished, and we are nice and installed both sides. Nice. Let's take it for a ride, shall we? Alright, not bad at all. The driving experience is pretty good, and she's driving a lot smoother than what I originally had. A lot less squeaking as well, nothing rubbing, although part of my exhaust is still a little loose. We'll get that fixed as well. Alright, well, hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and I'll get back in touch with you guys with the next installation that we do, and hope you guys have enjoyed our time together. We'll see you.